Piers Morgan furious as he hits out at claims he played Pigeon Lady in Home Alone.
Giggling Thylane Blondeau wears sparkling black swimsuit as she frolics in the water at Miami Beach.
Kim Kardashian fans spot star's third thumb after extra digit appears in Snap. Hello and welcome to Barely Contained, the online celebrity journalism podcast which, in 2024, still only vaguely knows what a TikTok is. I'm Matt Withers and I'm joined, as ever, by Chris Beckett.
Hi, Matt.
How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Merry Christmas and all that. Yeah.
And a very happy new year. How has 2024 been for you so far?
Yeah, pretty good. Resolutions sort of in place.
Yeah, and as they should be, Chris, because people will note by the time that this podcast went live, we're actually recording this in the past. It's still 2023 where we are.
Yeah, we've pulled a hootenanny basically.
Yeah.
This is actually July 2022.
Yeah. Should we perhaps look at some online celebrity journalism?
Why the hell not?
Yes. Well, I'd like to start off. I've got a story from the online pages of the Daily Star online, and this is headlined: Piers Morgan furious as he hits out at claims he played Pigeon Lady in Home Alone.
And people say that content released over the holidays is just rushed out, not thought over.
Yeah. No, this is something that I imagine that they had their investigative team working on for a number of months now. It begins. Piers Morgan appears to have reached the end of his tether with telling people that he definitely did not appear as the Pigeon Lady in classic movie Home Alone in 1992.
It's amazing what things will make you reach the end of your tether. Not perhaps a particular court case going against you or anything like that.
No, not the potential, the legal difficulties that he could find himself dealing with over the next 12 months. But the thing that finally made him snap wasn't even the Harry and Meghan. It was claims about him being the Pigeon Lady in Home Alone. I've got to say, I wasn't aware that this was a trope. But did you know that this was a commonly held myth?
No, I have to be honest, I did not.
And I must confess also, I have never seen Home Alone, so I didn't know there was a Pigeon Lady. Is she a major character in the film?
Pass. I think it's a sequel, isn't it? It's not the original.
Oh, it's the second one with which has also been in the news past few days because of Donald Trump's appearance in it.
Well, yeah. Trump is very much a big part of the second one.
Yeah, he's been out the last few days claiming that his appearance in that was what made it a classic. I've not seen the second one either. I think there's been about 5 or 6 now. Anyway, I digress. It goes on. Piers Morgan has hit out at claims he played the Pigeon Lady in 1992 movie Home Alone again. The former Good Morning Britain host is hit by the same question every festive period, with fans sure that he has a cameo role in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. In the movie, Macaulay Culkin reprised his role as young Kevin McAllister.
Fans sure that he has the cameo role.
Yeah, they are absolutely definite about this. I love the fact that he is described just as the former Good Morning Britain host. The fact that literally nobody has ever seen the Daily Show that he presents now means he's not even registered that.
Yes.
He gets separated from his family during a festive trip to New York, and he survives in the city without them until they reunite. So, I mean, massive spoiler alert. If I would suggest, if anybody was planning to watch Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, there's the ending for you. Macaulay stars alongside Brenda Fricker, who plays the Pigeon Lady.
Oh, blast from the past, Brenda Fricker.
I've never heard of her.
I think she's an Irish kind of character actress, or a character actor, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very good. Very much of that kind of 90s era.
A character actor, or as I would just say, Chris, actor.
An actor, yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
She helps Kevin escape from the criminals who are trying to get to him. And while it definitely isn't Piers in the role, fans can't help but point out the similarities.
They just can't help it.
They
Can't
can't.
just sit in your hands.
No, it would be a dereliction of your duty to wider society. They reckon that Piers bears a striking resemblance to the iconic pigeon lady. Recently, Piers were bombarded with comments, but he put out an angry message online. He shared a still of Brenda as the pigeon lady and wrote, "It's not me." Getting his point across further, Piers added 2 angry emojis.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah. However, it did little to stop fans making the comparison. One said, "Watching Home Alone Lost in New York and forgot Piers Morgan has a role in this film."
By the way, are we saying fans of Home Alone or fans of Piers Morgan?
No, there are no fans of Piers Morgan. Are there? Surely not.
Oh, in 2024. I mean, back in 2022.
Yeah. 2024 is somebody's going to tune in to his talk TV show and a little alarm's going to go off in his house and there'll be a major moment of celebration. Shay Morgan.
Yeah. The graph is going to be pointing upwards.
Another even put Piers' face over the top of the pigeon lady and asked if he was sure he wasn't in the film. Meanwhile, another said the comparison was uncanny.
You can see it. You can see it. It's not, it's not nothing. The resemblance.
No, there's a resemblance there, isn't there? There's a picture, there's an image from the film here, and yeah, there's a bit, she looks a bit like Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Which must be awful for her. She still was.
Yes.
It was Piers' son who started the joke, tweeting a photo back in 2018 and saying he always forgets his dad was in the film. Piers even addressed it on Good Morning Britain.
Mm.
Back in 2020, before his explosive exit, Piers addressed the topic. He fumed, "That is not me. I am not the bag lady in Home Alone 2.
And next up, I'm going to be discussing Meghan Markle.
Yeah. He went on, "It's not my character. I have nothing to do with it." I have nothing to do with it is something that Piers Morgan's had to say several times in his journalistic career, isn't it?
Yeah, we're spotting a theme there.
Yeah, that's basically, that'll be on his grave. "I have nothing to do with it." His former co-host, Susanna Reid, couldn't help making a joke, though. She told him that it was his best role.
Oh, lol.
And there's a few comments on here. I'd say we probably won't delve into them, Chris, because they're largely sub judice. So
yes, I would say so.
Yeah. Now, Chris, where are you taking us next?
Well, Matt, I am going to take you into the world of modelling. And this is from the Mail Online, and the headline: "Giggling Thylane Blondeau wears sparkling black swimsuit as she frolics in the water at Miami Beach."
Right, I'm just going to say this, Chris, because I don't think we had the chance to say this for a little while. Who? I mean, I have no idea if you pronounced that name correctly or not, because I've literally never heard of her.
I'm starting to have doubts over my pronunciation. It's probably like Thylane, maybe.
Milan.
I mean, she's French, so I think Thylane is a very anglicised pronunciation.
Yeah, that's your Del Boy impersonation of what you think her name is.
I'm basically pina coladaing her her Christian name. But yes, let's call her Thylane Blondeau. Well, she's a model, Matt, and what's more, she has a very famous lineage.
Ooh.
But we'll get to that later. So, Thylane Blondeau spent Boxing Day looking gorgeous while larking around in the water at Miami Beach in a sparkly black swimsuit.
Oh.
The French model, 22, wore a dainty silver chain, 2 gold bangles, and silver earrings with a high leg one piece.
Oh, be careful that you're not going to get them rusty in the water.
Exactly. Her natural beauty was fully on show when she slicked her wet, short brown hair away from her face.
None of it hidden.
Yeah. She took her black sunglasses on and off several times during her day on the beach and was joined by a friend who wore a maroon bikini.
Wow, there's some padding already in this, isn't there? With the
removal of
sunglasses.
It's like it's like looking at like a Where's Wally picture and like desperately mentioning the people who aren't Wally.
Yeah.
Thylane rose to worldwide fame when she was just 6 years old after Vogue Enfant (brackets Vogue Children) described her as the most beautiful little girl in the world.
Wow. I mean, you've got there. Well, first of all, let's just point out that the Daily Mail holds its own readers in such utter contempt that it believes it needs to translate Vogue Enfant for them. But more importantly, worldwide fame.
Yes. I mean, Vogue Enfant, to me, as a non-regular Vogue reader, even it sounds like it's a bit of a kind of specialist publication, a sort of sub-brand.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of when somebody decided that what the world needed was Muppet Babies.
Yes.
You don't necessarily need a children's version of something. And I addressed that to the makers of Taskmaster too.
Oh, controversial.
Yeah, I said it.
Vogue Enfant. Wow. And described her as the most beautiful little girl in the world. I mean, that's a heavy burden to bear at just 6 years old.
Yeah, that. I mean, you're not. That's just not a healthy thing.
No.
A 6-year-old, is it?
But Thylane is the daughter of Patrick Blondeau, a League One and Premier League footballer.
Yes, and Chris, I think you're in a good position to tell the world a little about Patrick Blondeau.
Well, yeah, Matt, I support very very poor hard up football team Sheffield Wednesday. But back in the day, in the late 90s, we were in the Premier League, and Patrick Blondeau played for us a stunning 6 times.
Oh wow! The most beautiful little Premier League soupçon in the world. Do you know when he was there? I made my sole trip to Hillsborough early in the 98, 99 season. I suspect he might have moved on by then. And anyway, he didn't seem to ever play, did he?
No, he was not. Let's say he was not a first choice member of the 11.
No, he's not. He's not somebody who's ingrained on the hearts of Owls fans.
No. But anyway, she has been modelling since the age of 4, working with the likes of Jean-Paul Gaultier and Dolce & Gabbana. She's currently signed with IMG Models. I mean, that's all very well and good, but going back to, what you were saying before, it's not as if I don't think she's worldwide famous. She's not a household name unless your household is Anna Wintour.
Yeah. No, I have no. I thought that maybe some of this extra information will come along and go, oh, that Thylane Blondeau.
Yeah.
No.
On the beach, Thylane strolled along just next to the water, her long, strong legs and trim physique taking centre stage.
Wow, they're describing her rather like a horse.
Exactly, yeah. She's sort of doing a little bit of a slow trot. Her sunglasses were on, and she was ready to enter the sea, putting her arms behind her so that she could tie up her hair.
It's very odd.
Wow. At first, Thylane had fun in the water, flipping hair with attitude as she had a conversation with her friend who was some distance from her.
Yeah, keep your 2 meters.
I wonder if she had to shout above the waves. She took off her sunglasses and had no sooner put them back on than she was attacked by a barrage of waves.
Wow, is this taking a turn?
This is call for Mitch Buchanan. It caught her completely by surprise, and her body contorted comically as she suffered through the shock of a sudden water onslaught.
This is very dramatic, isn't it? It was a wave in the sea, which I believe is not that uncommon.
Blimey. I mean, also as well, contorted comically.
Yeah,
Come on, just the facts.
Yeah, it's making it sound like one of the Chuckle Brothers.
learning a lesson. She took her sunglasses off. Well, she'll put them on again in a minute. But that unfortunately didn't stop her from being hit by another wave, this time at her back.
This is definitely one of the more thorough descriptions I've ever read of a woman taking her sunglasses off, putting them back on again.
Yeah, that's the thing about sunglasses. They generally tend to just protect your eyes.
Yeah, that is the thing. That is probably their USP.
They really generally do well against the elemental forces of the ocean.
No.
Wow. And then there's lots of pictures.
Which all look identical, it's worth saying.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, apart from the picture, I think presumably the picture of her is the most beautiful girl in the world. Well, she's clearly a very photogenic young girl, but looks a bit grumpy to me.
Yeah, she looks absolutely furious. Yes. My mum would say, face like a spanked arse.
Oof. Eventually, Thylane decided she'd had enough and headed home with her friend. I mean, that just proves it.
Yeah.
At 5'6", Thylane is among the shortest professional models in the world, but that hasn't stopped her fruitful career, which has included multiple fashion weeks. Mentions that she's been engaged to Ben Attal, the son of Charlotte Gainsbourg. So yeah, that's
but not just Charlotte Gainsbourg, with Charlotte Gainsbourg and Israeli French actor Ivan Attal, who appeared in Rush Hour 3.
Oh well, okay, sorry.
give him his moment of glory.
Oh, I will do. But yeah, I think that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then some comments.
Yeah, I like the comment at the top from somebody in the United States who says, "I find her friend in the red bikini more interesting."
Wow, that's like that meme,
Yeah,
where the guys looking around.
Yeah, the turning his head back one.
Yeah, just can't focus on one supposedly world famous model. And then Shells 1971 says everyone who dismisses her beauty should be forced to submit a selfie.
That sounds like it might be quite an administrative effort if that person's willing to take it on and go for it.
It's like a very, sort of dystopian vision of the future, Shells 1971.
Yeah, it sounds like the world's worst episode of Black Mirror.
Hey, Matt, so what are you going to play us out for in this New Year special?
Yeah, an old favourite from back in the day on Barely Contained, and not been mentioned much since, although she certainly commands enough column inches in the Daily Mail sidebar of shame. And this is a story from the Daily Star Online again, and it's headlined, Kim Kardashian fans spot star's third thumb after extra digit appears in Snap.
What?
Yeah.
Third thumb?
What is his third thumb? Chris, I'm going to tell you a bit more about it.
Please do.
The stand first is reality star Kim Kardashian has been slammed by critics after the influencer shared a picture of herself where all was not as it seemed and she appeared to have grown another thumb.
Wow. I mean, that would give her a big celebrity advantage.
Yeah.
Think of the Crankies. If you had an extra thumb.
Yeah. But, although I feel like the thumbs up gesture's been kind of tarnished in recent years. I used to associate with fun-loving people like the aforementioned Crankies and perhaps even Paul Fab Maca Wacky Thumbs Aloft McCartney himself. But I think that Donald Trump has really, I don't know. I think the association with Trump has really put me off the thumbs up.
He's done for. What do you do instead these days?
I communicate verbally, I say very good.
Just so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, she'd be very good at video games, wouldn't she?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
imagine the combos on Street Fighter 2 that you could pull
Oh,
off if you had that third thumb.
you know what? I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't get her off that arcade.
No, no. You could try stacking up your 20p's, but she would just be there all day.
Yeah. And of course, what else would she be good at? Oh, that game at school, when you had to like get the 2p across the table and balance it just on the edge. Imagine if you had a third thumb.
Oh no, we didn't have that one.
No.
We just had fights. Anyway, I digress. Kim Kardashian has been called out after fans claimed a Photoshop fail left the reality star with a third thumb. So initially, the claim was that she'd grown a third thumb, but I suppose statistically, one is more likely to have photoshopped it on than have grown one.
Yeah, I mean, Adobe, if your lawyers are listening.
Yeah, yeah. The other digital image manipulation tools are available, of course.
Yes.
The influencer took to Instagram, drink, to share some adorable family photos, but eagle-eyed fans spotted that one of them wasn't quite right. In a snap with her daughter, the fourth picture in her festive post, Kim's right hand appears to have sprouted another thumb.
Gosh, she'd have got away with it if it wasn't for those eagle-eyed fans.
Just so eagle-eyed, aren't they? Fans and critics quickly turned to Reddit to discuss the matter and accused the star of editing her own hands. One person questioned whether it was a Photoshop fail, as another fan wrote, I thought she had two thumbs on one hand for a moment.
For a moment.
For a moment.
Almost probably too fleeting to really make into a social media post.
Yeah, almost. And certainly too fleeting, perhaps, for a national newspaper to consider it worthy of putting on their website.
Come now.
More flocked to say, where's her other arm? Along with, I can't see a way that it is a thumb from the other hand. Someone else simply said that the math ain't mathing in regard to her magical third thumb.
Yeah, the aforementioned Donald Trump chiming in there.
Yeah. The math ain't mathing. A lot of people say that the math ain't mathing. So, Donald Trump for you there, Chris?
Great, yeah.
he just
Solid.
popped in. He's gone now. He's gone. More flock to say, in the picture, Kim can be seen smiling with her daughter North by her side as they celebrated the holiday season together. The reality star was glowing from inside out as she leaned closer to her daughter, who was wearing a silver-embellished jacket, a white turtleneck, and layers of crystal jewellery.
Yeah, forget all that. Why is she looking like the Ready Brek?
Yeah, glowing from the inside out.
Yeah.
Yeah. One for the younger listeners there. Thank you, Chris.
Check it out on YouTube, kids.
Kim wore a strapless blue robe adorned with white fluff that showed off her hourglass figure as she posed in front of a large Christmas tree. She wore her brunette locks in a sleek style pulled back from her face with layers that cascaded down her back. It's all going on there, isn't it?
I like that you can say adorned with fluff. I might use that one for next time my cat sits on me for a bit too long.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris was adorned with white fluff that showed off his hourglass figure.
Oh, yeah.
She wore a full face of makeup, including a flawless base, nude lipstick and lip liner, winged eyeliner, and layers of fluffy false eyelashes. Ooh. Around her neck, Kim wore 3 chunky diamond necklaces with a large pendant that sat over her chest.
Wow. That is a lot going on there, isn't there?
It's a lot. It's too much.
Winged eyeliner. I mean, a flawless base. I mean,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It all begins at the base.
Yeah.
3 chunky necklaces. It's a bit of a Mr. T going on.
It's very much, or indeed, former BDO World Darts Champion Martin Wolfie Adams.
Oh yeah, that's much more of a Christmas / New Year reference.
Yeah, I don't know if Kim Kardashian's ever been compared to the former Lakeside stalwart before or not.
Oh, she has now.
The Kardashian sister tied her winter wonderland look together with a pair of diamond earrings as she beamed from ear to ear and placed her hand on North's jacket. Elsewhere on her Instagram profile, Kim also shared pictures with her other children. So they've forgot about the fun, haven't they? The fun,
Yeah,
completely
the fun is old news.
Yeah. Kim posed with North 10, Saint 8, Chicago 5, and Psalm 4 as the family spent time together around Christmas. Wow, it's quite the...
I'd love to say there's a really good Psalm 4, joke. And I'm sure there is, but I just don't know the Bible well enough.
Well, Chris, I actually have Psalm 4 in front of me here, and I have to say, it's not right for humour. It's not really one of the funnier of the Psalms.
Oh, fair enough. Any good comments to write home about?
Let's have a look.
Hey, you know what? There's none. No one has decided that a story about a extra thumb is worthy of comment.
No. What a world to live in.
I think someone should start the conversation.
Yes, that is indeed what the website is imploring people to do. Perhaps you, listener, would wish to go on and be the person to get people talking. And with that, I think it's probably time to bring the first Barely Contained of 2024 to an end.
Yeah, I think so. But it's been a triumph.
Oh, I think it's been an absolute classic. I think it's been one of the greats. Been one of the greats. I think it's really set us up well for a good year of Barely Contained. And with the listeners on such a high after such an episode, Chris, what should they do next?
I mean, you could go to X, formerly Twitter, and go to @barely_pod. Or if you're on Facebook, why not go to Barely Contain the Podcast for all manner of archive footage, special bonus contents, basically everything you could possibly want.
Yeah, I think you started that quite unenthusiastically, Chris, but you turned it round by the end, and I think that the...
Thanks. I was just trying to think of what people would do on a high after listening to this. But, absolutely. Go nuts.
Yep, go absolutely nuts. Go to the podcatcher of your choice, whichever you listened to this on, be that Spotify or Amazon or Apple or the soon to be put out of its misery Google Podcasts or YouTube Music. Whatever it is, subscribe, leave us a review, please. 5 stars if you've got them spare. And we will be back on February the 1st. It seems an awful long time away. It'll be warming up by then.
Oh yeah, we'll be cooking with gas.
Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us. We will be back then. Thank you, and thank you, Chris Beckett.
Thank you, Matt Withers. Take care, everyone. See you in February.
Bye-bye.
Bye.